Hello, 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 DrayBarrels. We're back.
Hel- we are back. Hello there, Ref. How are you? It's been a long time.
Just call me Johnny. Yeah,
Oh,
it has been a while. I like your blazer, your puffer, by the way.
just call me Crease. You know, why not? If we're going out on the Karate Kid vibe, the Cobra Kai.
I know.
No, I've my family have gone to bed.
Hmm.
My jumpers, cardigans, sweaters, woolies, if you will, they're all upstairs. So I've just
Okay.
fitted some my little work gilet, as people say, gilet, or as I like to call it, good old 1980s body warmer. So, I'm happy we're here.
It's
But I'm
like
happy that we're back on because it's been too long. And
it
there's
was,
reasons for that, Dre Barrels. There is reasons for that.
and we'll go into it a little bit in a second in our normal segment. But it's kind of different, but yeah, I like what you're sporting there, and I just wanted to ask: is it cold before we get to the business?
No, it's not. It's been like the loveliest day of the year today, but I've turned the heating off, saving a bit of money on the old Wonga.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't want to disturb the family. So this is all I had. And a t-shirt. I didn't want people seeing my erect nipples. This isn't the channel for that.
No, that's the other one that we frequent on occasion, but that's for a more discerning audience, perhaps. But there we go.
It's an OnlyFans file that I have recently started up.
Links in the bio below, folks. But anyway, we do digress, and we should probably just get on with this,
Oh, yeah, it's beer news of the week.
And our beer news of the week really pertains to what news brought us to why we haven't been around for so long.
It's troubling. It's troublesome.
It's been very troublesome, and it's been very upsetting in that, unfortunately, our Instagram was lost. We are starting a new one of sorts, but we lost all our loyal DrayBarrels, and for absolutely random and unexplained reasons, right, Gav? We don't.
So when you say lost, really, Ref, that's not what happened. It's been taken down, I believe is the phrase they use. Our DrayMen's knowledge has been removed from Instagram. We've had the official thing coming through saying it could be that it was either offensive, that we broke the rules or whatnot. We're not quite sure on what's happened, and we've contacted them loads and loads of times, but have had no response at the moment, which is why we haven't been on, because Instagram was really our home to start with when we started with the little reviews and the little pictures and photos and things. And then, of course, we've been putting the pod on there, and we've gone on to Spotify and Google Play and all that type of stuff. But so we sort of paused, waiting to get a response, hoping to reinstate it, but it hasn't happened yet. So,
yeah,
we're cracking on, releasing the pod and see what happens. Hopefully they can have it back.
Yeah, we'll keep trying, and so what I gather is, you have to keep pestering and pestering and pestering and constantly, and it's like sometimes it comes back. I don't know what I've heard, but if you just keep on their case constantly, I guess it kind of whittles them down a little bit, and they get annoyed by it, and they just, I don't know if they're just too busy, or
It's not the fact, it's the weird thing that that's the general thing that comes out, like you've been removed, but they haven't given us an actual reason. And I don't think that we've done anything wrong other than maybe a password might have got mixed up at some point.
Right.
But this is over a month ago now, maybe longer. And, we just want it to come back. Not, we just want all of the stuff that we put up, because I know people that recently listen and they look back at our old stuff.
Yeah.
And also it's a good diary, a good chronological sort of document of everything we've ever reviewed, and it's all gone at the moment. We can't get it back at all. So fingers crossed, folks, that'll what will happen. And funnily enough, I know that the Ref over there's had a lot of correspondence, both in the flesh and also through the World Wide Web. Right. And so have I. I mean, I've just picked one out at random. This is the type of thing we've been getting, is a WFT, what the is going on. No pods, no Instagram. Just got into you guys through the Advent thing, and now nothing. Is it over?
Yeah.
And that's from Mr. Wilden and his dog Nippy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so hopefully, Mr. Wilden, you found us this way, because it's quite hard. We used to put the pod up, but hopefully you listen to the pod this way, and you've got your answer this week as to what's been going on.
Right, yeah, and I know Hillary kind of expressed in Austin. She was like, "What's going on?" And she brought me a beer. Cheers, Hill. I'll review it at some point. It's a non-alcoholic one, but she's like, "What? Where are you?" And I just love you. You're just so entertaining, and why come back? And the biggest question I keep getting is, "What did you do? What did you do wrong?" It's like,
I think that you're right. We were talking before. I think it's a mistake on a password, since we both access it, and then they freeze you out and don't try and sort through it. It's either that or it's your tainted kin, your brother. It was shortly after he appeared on our show with his great round face and his American loud shirts that we got taken down. So who knows? Who knows?
I blame Luke.
It's beggars belief, let me tell thee.
It is, and we go on about it, but we do apologise, DrayBarrels. We're back. We're getting something out there, at least for now.
Yeah, so that's the reason why. Let's crack on. We're here to review beer. We haven't had a beer together because we haven't actually had a beer since it's all been over together. We spoke a couple of times, but time to have a beer, I think. So on your side of the pond, looks a fine day out of your lovely window, your new view where you moved into last few months.
Yeah, it's a little bit cloudy, but it's a nice day. We got the door open slightly, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice to enjoy a beer in the background. So
what a lovely vista. Anyway, so what have you got for us this week? What treat have you got for us?
Well, I actually have a look at this. This is a new one for me, and it was actually purchased by the good wife. It's called Blueberry Pancake, and at first glance, you would think, right? Oh, he's got a stout. This is.
I was going to say he's got a stout there. Someone's been mucking about with a stout, and there we are.
It's an IPA, folks. It's an Indian pale ale brewed with blueberries, sugar, and vanilla beans. So this is new territory for me. I'm kind of just absolutely. I've never had an IPA like this before. So it's normally the kind of citrusy, fruity ones, right?
Oh, I like that. Hold it up. Just hold it slow. Look at old Mr. Nosy hanging his nose over the top.
Where's that? Oh!
Remember when you was a kid and you used to draw a wall and you'd have the nose hanging over the wall? That's what he is.
You did, isn't it? Yeah, no, you did.
He died, but he's obviously gone to America and he's making his fortune over there.
He's come back from the 80s and 70s and he's turned up with decadent ales out in New York City.
Nosy Parker, he endorses them. I love it.
Nosy. Could be a Dray.
Go on then, get a pour on.
Okay.
Oh, I can tell that. I could just seen a glimpse of something, and I can tell you've been hanging on. You've been missing it. The Duckworth is in residence.
Oh, yeah, I do apologise. The Duckworth is back, and I thought coming back onto the screen, no better occasion when we're back than bring the Duckworth and dust it off, out of the cupboard. And look at the colour. Look at that, guy. So
it's like one of those root beer, blackberry beer things you have over there.
Right, yeah. If you're listening, DrayBarrels, it's kind of a reddish kind of burgundy. Would you say?
Like a pinky. If you poured that, you'd think it was some sort of pop.
It is, and it's fizzy. It's I'm spilling it. It's fizzy, right? But I'll get a quick taste and smell on before. I know you're gasping for a drink here. Now, I would have said fruit.
No, that's what I've missed. That vision of you almost inhaling the slight head on it, which is
with my ponk.
Hanging your nose over the glass. Like Mr. Nosy Parker from New York.
Is that it? Okay. I capture that. It's like my bald head, like Nosy Parker. on my nose. But it smells like pancakes. I'll say this right away. It does. It looks fruity, right? But it smells like pancakes.
Oh, go on then, drink it.
Actually, it tastes like syrupy kind of taste to it. I guess it's that kind of bitterness to the. It's definitely not like an IPA. I'll tell you that for nothing. There's no IPA-ness about it.
Now, I watched something interesting this week. As you know, I know that your father-in-law follows the cage fighting, the UFC over there.
He does.
And I follow it fairly closely over here. UFC London was just this weekend. Very good. I was watching a thing on Conor McGregor over in Ireland there, and his new bar that's opened, the Black Forge Inn, and he's released a stout which originally was just supposed to be a house stout called the Black Forge Stout, right? And it's been so popular, but next stout season this year is coming fall, y'all. Okay. He's releasing it in kegs and cans because people are raving about this stout. Well, the guy that was interviewing him, and they were talking about all things to do with his restaurant and also to do with his fighting and everything. It's a really good interview. He said to him, he'd give him a glass, and right, I haven't actually got a pint glass, which is a bugger because they're none are clean. But you give him a pint glass with the name across it, you know, like you had have with Guinness or any of the others, and it says the Black Forge Inn. And you give him the pint, and the guy poured it. And it looked beautiful, really lovely, creamy stout. And he went to sip it, and he went, no. He said, your first sip of a Black Forge stout, you sip down to the label till you hit the label where it says, you know, on the glass.
Like half a pint?
Well, not half a pint, like a quarter of a pint, you know, till you hit that bit where they've put it. He said that gives you your first proper taste of any beer.
Oh.
And that was from Conor, but I tell you, if you like it, it was a bloody good, you know, the businessman, the business brain of that guy. But it was a really good interview, and his knowledge of stouts, and of course he's in whiskey with the as well. He's really interesting little interview he did. But that's what he said.
Okay,
to taste it, have a good glug of it.
Oh, a good glug. I should have done. Is it on YouTube, that interview?
Yeah, it is. It's. Okay. I'll have to think of what it's called, but it's. If you type in Conor McGregor, it's like Beyond the Mat or something. Is this thing that this guy does, and but he sits with him for half an hour in his new pub. Well, it's been going a little while. This pub. It was a pub that he used to try and get in when he was underage, and he said he bought it to. And obviously he's put a lot of money into it, and he's helping out a lot of people that live there. He's bought it to preserve it rather than the pub go under. And it's everything in it is as Irish as possible, all local produce, all the top stuff. And he said he didn't care if it made money. He just wanted to preserve, you know, keep it going. And it's a roaring success.
That's like the Peaky Blinders and the Garrison, and they bought it up. I don't know if you watched that, but yeah, it's the same thing. It was their childhood.
And he said, look, he said something like the stout business is $1 billion business each year, but around the world there's only sort of 1 or 2 stouts that are, you know what I mean, like you know, popular ones, obviously like Guinness and Murphy's. He said it's not flooded. He said so he wanted the best, and he's got this brewer in, and he's got rave reviews, and he's launching that stout as well properly.
Go and look it up, DrayBarrels, and I'll actually post a link to the video on the YouTube. Look below.
Black Forge Inn is the name of the pub.
Yeah.
If you're over in Dublin, Crumlin, around that area, get down there. Anyway, so linking in to Ireland, I've got an Irish beer. It's an Irish porter, actually. And I've had this one for a while, and I've been saving it because the artwork is so funky and cool.
Hare.
It's a little, well, it's a hare, but they call it a rabbit. It's a rabbit on a tractor. What's he got? He's drinking a porter, and he's got some sunglasses on. And there's palm trees, which isn't very Irish, but Anyway, it's from Kinnegar Farmhouse Beers from Donegal. Now, Donegal, if you look on a map, is right at the top of Ireland, but it's not Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is sort of 2/3 of the top. It's on the sort of skinny bit at the top of the island on the east coast, where it meets the Atlantic, and it is next to Glenvower National Park. So beautiful part of Ireland. And it's from the town Letterkenny town, which is obviously part of Donegal. So it's a porter, and the porter is actually called Yanarudi.
Was that Irish?
Or Yanarudi. Now, there's a name behind that in a minute, and I'll give you the name. Do you think is that Irish? Yeah, I should think so. Being an Irish beer.
I thought maybe they
Here's the pour.
Oh,
I've had to. Oh Christ! Don't you dare! I've had to go for this one because I went to grab a pint. Let's cock that up. That's not very good. Thank God that's not on Instagram.
You rushed it. You were excited.
They'd rip me a new arsehole, wouldn't they? So the head's a bit thick on it, but I've had to pour it into a half pint one because there was no clean pint glasses. In other news related to Guinness and Ireland, my Guinness rugby glass got smashed. Oh. Don't worry, I'm going to get another one, and I gave it a proper burial, but it was smashed.
Bloody hell, what happened? Tell us.
Sore subject and involved someone in my family. Not me. Not me or the cat. I rule them two out.
It's not
anyway, so here we go. This is it. This is the porter, which is a 4.8 Yanarodi porter.
Okay.
Smells very porterish. It's quite a strong tasting porter, but a porter nevertheless. No fancy flavours with it.
Standard
Nice.
porter.
It's a nice little number, as I like to say. And it's from, they're part of the independent Irish craft beer scene. So, as I said, it's from a farmhouse beer. So it's very Irish and it's very local to the area. Just starting to branch out. But very nice. So, excuse me, Christ.
Well, but it's almost like, and I feel bad this year because we never, it was kind of a big thing for us, DrayMen, was the St. Patrick's Day.
Well, the reason, but I'm sort of sneaking this in because St. Patrick's Day would have been a week ago tomorrow. So we sneaked it in St. Patrick's week, an Irish beer. That's actually did why I chose it. I had a couple out there and I thought, I'm going to go for this one. I've had it a while and because of our old mate John, who's born on St. Patrick's Day, the Darch.
I didn't wish him a happy birthday. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he told me that.
Sorry, the Darch.
He said, I said, did you hear from Marco? And he said, I never heard from that fuck. That's what he said. I know. I didn't push it any further. I just wished him merriment and have a lovely time and have a meet up soon. So, sore subject.
I won't see him when I'm over.
Oh, you will. He'll get you in one of his famous headlocks, no doubt.
Oh, it's a bit of revenge. Ooh,
bit of noogie on the top, eh?
I may have to send him a little special something down Richmond Street. Sorry, John. The Dark.
So go on and give us a little bit of your New York brewery.
Absolutely. So if anybody's wondering where New York is, it's one of those northern places and on the map of the United States of America. Do you know what it used to be called, Gov? Just out of interest, do you know what its original name was?
Well, New York City was called New Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Dutchman himself, Yorick, was up there probably a month back, and he was telling me he went there. Well, he had to do a job up there, but he kind of specifically made a point to have a bit of vacation there as well. And they, how would you say in Dutch? I'm trying to do the accent. I can't.
I like to have, maybe when I'm in New York City, maybe a small vacation, see the sights.
It almost sounds slightly American, doesn't it? The way it's kind of that. The way
I like New Amsterdam. It reminds me of my tulip home.
it almost sounds a little bit, but like you're from. What's one of the suburbs in New York? Well, like you're from The Sopranos or something. New Jersey, that kind of vibe to it. But no, the point.
Jersey is a state.
Yeah, but it's kind of ties into New York a little bit, doesn't it? They all sound.
Does it? Does it really?
But anyway, so he kind of made a bit of a trip of it because he wanted to explore the Dutch history of New York. He kept calling it New Amsterdam, and he kind of saw some of the old Dutch history. You know, it's people don't think about that, but yeah, there's a big Dutch history to New York City. But I do.
My brother lived there. My brother lived there for 6 months.
Oh yeah, I remember he was over there.
Yeah, he was supposed to be over there he lasted 6 months. Well, he didn't last 6 months. He chose to come back after 6 months. He goes over there he's been over there loads, but yeah, he did live there for a bit.
Does he have friends and stuff there? He can kind of, and he has.
Yeah, he has. But you know, now like yourself, when you've got a family and stuff now, got a little girl and that, you don't get to, you're not as free and easy as you once were. So yeah, he hasn't been over there for a while.
But what was he doing? Was he like with the police and stuff over there, or was it to do with law and stuff like that?
No, before it was the law thing, before he became full-blown Rosa.
I haven't heard that in a while. I have to
before he become part of the fuzz.
The fuzz, yeah. I may have to mention the Rosas to our old mate Daff. I've been Aberystwyth with because he used to say that a lot, didn't he? The Rosas.
Yeah, don't go near him. He's COVID bound, isn't he?
God, he's got it twice.
I told him to fucking have a sheep dip. Get over it.
I know you would think, wouldn't you, a farmer and stuff, and out in the country and that, and away from it all, you wouldn't get it so much. I don't know, especially in rural Wales. And I'm in the city. I worked through the entire pandemic constantly. I was in and out of buildings in a big city, and I haven't had it once. And I say,
yeah, but you've got no hair.
Was that a side effect? What is that?
Was. When you started, lovely golden locks.
People don't realise the effect.
Anyway, hang on. I've learned not a fucking thing about your brewery yet.
No, sorry.
You always divert it back to you and your looks. I'm getting sick and tired of this. No wonder we've been banned from Instagram. It's either your Jeremy's or your hair. Come on.
I got some lovely comments about my eyes today from I went through a drive-through and she said to me, and I got a Chick-fil-A, if you're listening, American DrayBarrels. Chick-fil-A is a chicken sandwich fast food place. And she went, "Oh, your eyes are beautiful." And I said to her,
was you wearing your burqa again?
My what?
Your burqa. So you just had your eyes out like a Muslim bride.
Oh, thank you. But no, oh, that's all. But I said it's normally my accent that people comment on. So thank you for mentioning my eyes. And she said, "Oh, it's a combination of both." You know?
Oh, blimey! Trying it on through the drive-through.
I guess she was.
She said, "Look, I'll have a joke with this bald guy and his beady eyes."
Let's play along with.
As you came out with a sandwich when you ordered a Big Mac because they couldn't understand your accent.
She said to me, and what's the name for the order? And I went, Marco, and she went, Marco. And, oh, okay. So
you should have said Marco, as in Macassian.
You said Macassian, and it would have been easier. Oh, welcome back, DrayBarrels, to the nonsense. But anyway, my brewery. So
Please.
yeah.
So John.
I have to say it was very hard to glean any information on this brewery, Decadent Ales. And you go to their website, look, I kind of rate things, and I would probably say that was very poor on their website. Sorry about that, but it was very hard to navigate, and it was very hard to glean any kind of information on these guys. I got a bit.
You don't have to say sorry. It is their fault.
That is true, but I'm hoping they'll follow us. But no, it's a good point. So they are based on Hoyt Avenue, New York City. I went to their Instagram and I gleaned that they kind of started around 2016. So they're kind of well established, and it's more than enough time, I think, to give a bit more of a story, right? And tell more about yourself. So they've been going a little while. So they are based, like I said, in New York City, but they're the spiel I found about them, I had to go onto Facebook's. So I was kind of going, I went on to, what's the one called? The Untapped. Tweeting? No, the Untapped. And then that gives you normally Untapped's a very good resource for breweries and getting information. And they normally give you a bit of spiel, about breweries, but they normally have a link that you can go to their website. So I did that and got nothing. So then I went on Instagram, couldn't get much there. Obviously just the data when they started after scrolling. But I eventually went on Facebook and I found a little bit of info. Basically, they aim, so this is their spiel, we aim to brew rich and highly quality unfiltered beers for the local community. So they're very kind of, I'm surprised the good wife managed to find this, because I kind of looked up a few of their beers and yeah, they're Untapped, you can source beers from breweries and how close they are, and it's really hard to find certain ones.
Quite hard, isn't it, really?
It's really, and USA is very hard like that. It's like state by state, it's very hard to get beers out of state. Unless it's a big brewery like Founders, or Weathered Souls perhaps, and the big ones, Lagunitas out of California, they have two breweries in.
We get them, Lagunitas, get them in.
Oh, you do, don't you? That's right, because that's come a long way. That's massive now. That bit, the beer that Hillary gave me this week is non-alcoholic from Lagunitas, and I may just do a mini kind of thing for that,
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So their focus really is two sides of the beer spectrum: high ABV ales, which this, by the way, is an 8.2.
Oh.
Right.
Taste strong, is it not? All right.
Well, no, it is, isn't it? When you think about it, the average beer is 4s, right? I mean, European beers.
Yeah, 4 to 5, isn't it? I mean, this is, what is this, 4.8? So yeah, 8.2.
And that's Ireland. And I wonder if they have the big thing, obviously we know this as DrayMen in the UK is like ABVs are, they actually tax them, right?
Yeah, I think they do it in Europe as well, really. You only get a few stronger ones.
Maybe we need to.
They brought Stella down below 5. It used to be 5.2. It's now 4.2. So
you think it's like a European thing? Obviously, with Brexit, it's separate, these days. But Ireland,
it's like window tax in Georgian times. Terrible.
What is window tax? I've heard of it. Is that where you'd
hate it? Getting back to our friendly old nosy Parker, you'd hate it. Curtain twitcher. You're not allowed as many windows in your house as you once did.
Look at this. I mean, do you know what my wife said to me the other day? I was out, right? I stood over there, and I was like this, right?
Oh yeah.
And she said to me, and she walked in here, right? And she said to me, "That looks creepy. That
Yeah.
looks like you're spying on."
I've seen him do that down the local swimming baths.
Oh,
There's reasons he moved out of Devon, folks.
don't go in. But no, but I mean, I was like, "What do you mean?"
I mean, you say you think it's weird and perverted, but it was senior citizen hour. So
you have to bring that up. You know how I feel about okay.
That's what she said.
Bring up the senior citizen, didn't you? I'm trying to. Okay, never mind.
Sorry, flooded your brain with memories you've tried to repress.
But I can't even remember. You've lost my focus now. I was
We're
like,
talking about tax on beers and
yes,
the
yes,
ABVs and all that.
and the difference, between you. Well, it sounds like I didn't realize this. Maybe we need to get into this at some point. Is like the difference between. Well, it doesn't sound like there's much of a difference compared to America, like Europe and the UK, and obviously Ireland's part of the European Union, as you well know.
Well, it was when we had the coach on for his the 3-way special that we had, that he was mentioning about a good podcast that it was explaining all that type of thing. So
yeah, let's not go back. Yeah, we did. Maybe we'll get the coach back on right soon. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Bit of banter. But yeah, basically, sorry.
Hello.
But it was basically two sides of the spectrum, was the high ABVs and the freshness of it. And I did going through their beer lists. It was very focused on IPAs. I mean, and as you know, IPAs are meant to be drunk fresh. Fresher the better,
Mm-hmm.
And I really struggled to find. Excuse me. I really struggled to find any other kind of beer. It was all IPAs. Did you want me to list a couple?
We'll do that in a minute. I'll give you a bit of stuff on my one. Let you got a bit of the old windy pops going on. I'll tell you what, I haven't missed that. Fucking hell. So right, let's go to these guys again. The old Kinnegar farmhouse beers. Well, they have, as I said, they're independent Irish craft beer brewers, and they have a thing on their website. And also here, there's a tiny little thing here, but with there's supposed to be a rabbit, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Or I suppose it could be a hare actually, which is follow the hops. Now, follow the hops is the different beers they do, and in all of their cans artwork there's a rabbit or a hare, and it also leans towards the other thing that they like, which is different running events and hiking. And on St. Patrick's Day, they've done a St. Patrick's Day hike, and then they celebrated once they got back down with a few beers at the end. And they're on Ireland's Wild Atlantic Way, as I said, and their brewery is on the River Swilly. Now, Kinnegar is the name of the beach which is next to the brewery, and all of their, or most of their, beers are named after unusual named places near it sort of in the vicinity of where they are. So they've got one called Scraggy Bay, they've got one called Walla Walla, and other ones like that. And this one is called Yana Rudy, or Yana Roddy, so I keep saying it wrong. Yana Roddy, which is the name of a big field. All the fields around there are named. Let me just give you a bit off the back of the can here. So,
isn't that crazy?
You've got names like, here we go. Every field has its own name: the Long Tongue, Tolly, the Daisy Park, and behind each name lies a story that even many locals have long forgotten. A stone's throw from the brewery is a field with the intriguing name Yana Roddy. Yeah, I like that. It's cool, isn't it?
Do they all fields in Ireland have names, do you think? For the length and breadth, the great nation.
I can't throw my weight behind that 100%, but I'm guessing, I mean, there was, do you remember our friend, you know, used to talk about the biggest field in Britain near us? That over there above Braunton is the biggest field in Britain. And then when we looked at it, we said, where is it? And he said, oh, it's split up. And it's like, well, that's not one field anymore, you fucking idiot.
There was that
little field.
Yeah, there was that.
Have you not been to Wiltshire where there's like a, you know, 2,000 acre field? What the fuck are you talking about?
That was the biggest load of bollocks I ever heard in my life, and I had forgotten about it until you brought it up. But where was he living? On the fucking moon? I mean, that's a big field. That's a moon field up there.
It is a very big field up there.
Yeah, but that's the strange, and I did hear it from several sources, like the Hardy used to talk about that as well, and the country gent out in Swimbridge, he said the same thing to me, and I was like, what? And so it's a common.
They're all related, though, you know. Come on, they're all related. Anyway, so this brewery started up in 2011, celebrated 10 years last year. A bit of current news going on with them. They've just been granted permission on March the 1st, opening of a new tap room. So they're all excited about that. They do, like I said, they do lots of beer festivals all over. They're going to be doing one in France in a few weeks' time. And I'm over in France in 2 weeks' time. With the family, we're going over to Euro Disney.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
In Gay Paris. But yeah, so they do brewery tours, and they do a cool thing. And I wish they was on our doorstep. Really, they do like brewing courses there. So they do like a general one, which is a couple of days, and then they get bigger and bigger. How far down the road you want to go with it? But I like that. Nice website. Easy to navigate, not the biggest amount on the history of setting up, but you know, it's all there. Little snippets and stuff, a lot of current news and things that have been going on over the last year. And I've got to give a shout out to the artist here, because I do like that. It's a unique can, and the other cans are all styled like that. He's a local artist called over in Ireland, called Dermot Flynn, and he designs all their cans, all the artwork for their cans, so that's cool. But yeah, so I'll list a couple of my beers that they do,
please do
extra, and then you can list a few of yours as well. So we've got Big Bunny, which is a New England IPA, Scraggy Bay IPA. We've got Low Tide, which is a low percent beer, which is only 1%. Devil's Backbone, which is an amber ale. You got DL, which is a Donegal lager. Walla Walla is their venture into sour. It's very popular over there, which is a rhubarb and ginger sour. And then they've got Flying Saucer, which is a 7.7, which is their highest ABV, export stout. So they've got quite a few, and then they obviously do, that's their sort of, they've got a core range, and then they've got visiting and seasonal ales and beverages. So nice looking place.
Do you think Walla Walla was actually kind of inspired by Rick Waller, the singer?
I hope so. I love him.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? Oh, Rick Waller.
Remember that face-off he done with Simon Cowell? Nose to nose. Oh, I'll never forget it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love if you can get another beer, definitely get that Walla Walla. I love that name. It almost sounds Maori. It could be like you can hear them doing the, what do they call it, where they do the whole haka. And they could go Walla Walla. You know, that could be part of the build.
There's a song called Bully Bully, isn't there? You could sing Woola Woola to it. Walla Walla Walla. Yeah, maybe I'll try and get that. I can't even remember when I got this. Oh, I can actually. Yeah, I do. I ordered all those stouts, didn't I? Hundreds of them.
I know
And I picked that. I know it was a porter. I picked a couple of porters. That was one of them.
Got so many flipping stouts still in the cupboard from my Christmas stash. The fridge is still full of them. They just not, all those stouts for Christmas. I'm trying to hold some back. I've got like a nice kind of a lump of coal one and just big bottles, So I'm just gonna
do them. Just do them.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, all that Advent business, and then it goes. All right. Anyway, a couple of beers from this brewery out of New York, Decadent Ales. Very decadent, very push. And
yes.
Yeah.
How decadent to hang your nose over some pancakes.
He's not a big decadent guy, is he, Nosy Parker? I wouldn't say he was never decadent for me. I always imagined he was.
Like you at the window. He's a pervert. You down the left centre.
I always imagine.
It's weird to be the other side of glass, looking in with binoculars. It's not right. And I hope you learnt your lesson.
Well, obviously, I'm someone else now. Well, how can I be, a pervert here looking out at trees? That's my whole thing. And the wife's like, that's creepy when you stand.
If your own wife is saying what you're doing is creepy, there's problems, mate. There's problems.
It's bloody birds and deer. There's nobody out.
Oh, you love birds, didn't you? You can't get enough of talking about. Oh, she said I had lovely eyes, and Hillary gave me this. Come on, it's all adding up. That's why your wife's moved you to the country.
Through a bloody window. Oh God. Okay, and this house is surrounded by windows. It's for the wildlife enjoyment. All right. Anyway, yeah, but Nosy Parker, I always thought he has to be a Brummie, right? He just looks like a Brummie. I always envisaged him with a Dudley accent or something like that.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I never really thought of where he comes from.
When you look at his face, you could. Oh, he's from Dudley. He has to be from Dudley, doesn't he?
Depends what his mouth's doing, though. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Do you think he's grinning or screaming?
You can see his arms. There's one.
Very long arms.
Yeah. Anyway, but a couple of beers. Like I say, it's all IPAs through and through mostly, but I did find a couple of other gems in there. They do a double toasted marshmallow IPA. Orange cream pops IPA. But they do have a couple of stouts. They had a Decadent Delight Stout, which is an imperial stout, 11.7%.
Fucking hell. Get on it up there.
There's all of these IPAs at 8 something. They're all above 8s, and they do actually do a sour. It's called a Wild Berry Sorbet Ghost, and it's the only low one I found on it, and it's 6%. But everything else,
that's the lowest. It's mad, isn't it?
Madness, they call it, madness. But yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, like I say, I couldn't find much more. Not like your brewery, you found a lot today.
Well, no, I don't know. There was more on there, but to be honest, I couldn't be asked to go into it. I found the bits I wanted to find out, and just suggest that if people are over there, it's only just over the border from Northern Ireland, and it looks a beautiful part of the world. So if you're near there, near the town of Letterkenny, go in there, because by the time you hear this, the new tap room might be open. So good luck to them. My friend's going to Ireland next week, so but I don't think she's going up there. I think she's going County Clare, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, but I mean, they're probably all about. You got to get her to pick you up something. I'm coming over. I'm going to be bringing you a selection of American beers. So it's always I always use the opportunity when somebody's traveling to, can you pick me up something?
Good
can't
idea.
Give them a shopping list, right? I want this specific beer, but you can.
I would just like one of the real strong stouts that you drink, because You know, I've had a couple of 10%ers here, but nothing like you can get over there. Some mental ABV Imperial Stout.
Yeah. I decided I'm not bringing any beers for anybody else, just for you, because obviously we're the DrayMen. But like,
anyone else?
Like, well,
Who else is there?
Nicola maybe, and my brother-in-law. Is he brother-in-law or step-brother-in-law? Tony, the police officer. He likes his craft beers, and I normally bring him one. I'm like, keep this.
Bring him one. As a drayman, as long as I get one, I don't mind.
Oh, you're gonna get a few. Don't worry about it.
Spread the wealth. Right, so that's it for my lot. Anything going on your end?
No, all I have now, I mean, that's all I've got on my brewery. So I think we just dive into this and see where it goes. But it's like,
Facts of the week.
Oh my God.
You forgot that.
He's a bit slurred, isn't he? But he's had one or two.
He did sound a bit slurred, didn't he, this week?
Come on, Terry. Say it again, mate.
Try one more time, Terry, okay? Just give it a go and see if it sounds any better. I know you had a few, but
Facts of the week.
Okay.
No, it's not got any better. All right, so we're going to have a lie down. Go on then. Have you got a drag yourself? What's your drag?
Okay, are you sure you want me to start? Because I look, it's kind of my drag really pertains to age really and getting older, and I know it's all of us, but I've been every week there's been something going on with me right now. So like I obviously, as you know, the Jeremy Kyles was hitting me, and then the following week, the entire side of my back was pulled out. That all goes back to those bloody sleepers we carried back in landscaping days, and my back's never been the same since.
Yeah.
And then what was the next thing I had? Oh, I had a kind of a front strain going on, so I lifted something and just around the groinal area, it was like hurting really bad. And now this week, well, actually it's gone on for 2 weeks really, and I need to go to the opticians, but I've started getting some issues with my eyes, and I may have to wear the old spectacles again, because I had a minor prescription before, but it's starting to flare up a bit. And
for you DrayBarrels that don't know, and obviously some are friends of the ref over there don't understand that. When I first knew Marco when he was 19, a ref over there using his full name, he used to wear glasses all the time, permanently.
Yeah.
And when he lived with us, he wore glasses. So seeing him without his dusty bins on it's been pleasant, you know. But you know, it's got to go back there. And I know you're making it up because you just want to have the Jack Duckworths to go with the Duckworth itself, isn't it?
Do you remember I used to actually break my glasses a lot and put like old Duckworth himself? I used to put plasters and tape and stuff on to hold them together.
Yes, all right. So, but I know what you mean. I think like what you said there about getting older. Yeah, like we're in our 40s, and I do remember when we worked together at the garden centre, and you know, you lift stupid weights because you can lift them, but they're too heavy really to be lifting all day, and you just like, fuck it, I can lift those on my own. I used to carry 2 bags of compost on my back, load them in the van, but those things creep up with you. They really do.
You don't think, and when you're young and cocky, you think, don't worry about that. I'm fine, you know, I can do this.
But when me and my brother, I mean, obviously parkour is different. Parkour teaches you how to jump off stuff and how to roll and stuff like that, and break your fall and cushion your fall and stuff like this. But when me and my brother were kids, like proper kids, like, you know, I'm 3 years older than my brother, when we were sort of 10, 13, stuff like that, we used to find like the highest wall and try and jump off of it all the time. I used to jump out my bedroom window onto the patio down below. all the time. My ankles now are really not good. And I think it's because of all that when we were younger, it does catch up with you. And you always, when you are young, people say to you, "Oh, it's too heavy for your boy. You'll do your back in." Yeah, all right, mate. But it does. It creeps up on you. She creeps, as they say.
It creeps, and no, you're right. And it's like you start to feel, especially my back, that's the worst of it. It's like there's always some, and it's stupid things, like I could be in work fine and I'd be lifting heavy pots and shit. And then next week I'll lift a dish out of the dishwasher over there. I'm moving a funny way, like, shit, my back's gone and it's hurting all week. And I got these good patches I put on it to help with the pain, medicated patches from the father-in-law, geez, Tone. And it, it's one of those things, and we got to get, but it's like every week something,
breaking down.
God, bloody hell. But anyway, yeah.
So my Drake.
Okay.
Let's move on. I agree with you, Drake. There, it's not
yes, Gav.
Not something that you want to admit, but as you get older, you can't do all the things you used to do. And unless you stay fit and active and limber, then trying to pick up something that you used to pick up when you were younger, it can throw you out. I've had plenty of back issues as well. Okay. Right. So my dreg, I was saving, and it occurred to me, not on the day, but a couple of days after. Now, you are a proud Welshman. All of my Welsh friends, we went to university with a proud Welshman, and I love it. I love watching the rugby, and I think that the best rugby ground in the world is the Welsh Millennium Stadium, the Principality as it's known, I think, these days.
Yes,
there's nothing finer than watching that stadium sing their Welsh national anthem, the pride and the glory and the theatre of it all is wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So it was St. David's Day. Now, when was that?
That was the 1st of March. That would have been like 3 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, so 1st of March was St. David's Day, yeah. And everyone, St. David, proud and all this sort of shit. That's fine. Not got a problem with that. What occurred to me was, now we've got friends of ours, including your father, and also friends that we both know from university and things like that, who have changed their name to be more Welsh, to be not their sort of what do you call it, their christened name, their sort of, or their name on the birth certificates, but the Welsh version of that name. Yeah,
I'll interject there because my father actually, he doesn't go by that. That's what other people call him. Oh, saying that, on his Facebook, he calls himself Di. So no,
yeah, he does. Right. And when I've spoken to him the last couple of times when we've had the quizzes, which we're long overdue for another one, but
yeah, definitely,
he says he calls himself Di, right?
Yeah.
Now, Di, D-A-I, is the Welsh for David. Yeah. Very proud of that.
Yeah.
So why the fuck do you call it St. David's Day and not St. Di's Day?
So that's your drag. I mean,
my drag. I'm so proud of it. I use the English version to celebrate. No, you should be. The rest of us should be saying, "Oh, it's St. David's Day," but you should be saying, "Oh no, it's St. Di's Day."
No, shouldn't you really be technically saying St. David's Day? Because David is David in Welsh, and it's just a nickname. It's not even it's just they shortened David to Di, just a nickname. So it's almost could be English because there's a D in David, there's an A in David, and there's an I in David, and it's just
correct. Okay, so I've got it slightly wrong. But why isn't it St. David's Day then?
That is very good point, and I don't know. And it's isn't there like another name for Patrick in Ireland in Gaelic? Would they call him somebody different, or Scotland?
You're probably right. But as a as an Englishman, there's St George's Day, but I wouldn't call him. I can't even think of a nickname for George, but I wouldn't call him
Georgie Porgy.
Yeah, say it was that. His real name was Georgie Porgy's Day. I wouldn't. I'd say I'm celebrating St Georgie Porgy's Day. So since like it's St David spelt in the English way rather than David in the Welsh.
But do you think that's no? I hear you, and I just don't. I mean, the crazy thing is that Wales wasn't even a country until the early part of this century. It was part of England. It was just classified as Wales and England, but they shortened it to England. But it was so I don't know for all that.
I mean, it's still in cricket. It's still the English and Welsh cricket. That's why there's no Welsh.
Yeah. And
there's no Welsh cricket team. There's a Scottish one. There's no Welsh one because it's England and Wales cricket
and
team.
like at Lords, they have the Welsh flag inside the three feathers and stuff inside. I saw like a video of it inside, and I was like, oh shit! And I didn't, and that's probably why that goes back to that era. But no, I was kind of worried if you start going down that road, you get into Plaid Cymru territory. It's like, oh, everything should be Welsh, it should be, and that's my kind of. I don't want to scary thought, but it's like maybe no, I don't. And we're such a huge part, and as you know, me, myself, and my family, we don't really speak Welsh. So in some ways, it's like let's not go down that road. But I do hear you. Maybe we should, and it's an easy name to think, you would say it quite easily. David, that's not a problem. So there shouldn't be an issue with it, really. Yeah.
Well, I don't think there is an issue with it. I've just created that issue.
No, but it's a good point.
It was a dreg of mine. It was just a dreg. That's all.
There we go. Anyway, we are getting on time. So, do you want to review your beer, Gav, as you're kind of there? Oh, you got a bit left.
See, now porters aren't my choice against stout. Stout is more my thing. This is definitely a porter, but it's a nice porter. And as I've said, I could drink stout all night, but I don't think I could drink porters all night. I know they're very close, but I don't think I could drink porters all night. I could if I had free, obviously. Don't be silly. But this porter is fine. It's got a nice taste to it. And I'm going to go in with, I'm going to go for a 7.5. I'm looking forward to searching out a couple more of their beers, and I'd like to try their stout actually, and maybe the Walla Walla sour. Try and get that one for the summer, maybe summer special. But other than that, thank you very much, Kinigar. I'm glad we found you, and look out for some future reviews.
That's exciting. I like the sound of that, and especially at Walla Walla. Maybe you'll have one for June. That'll be fun.
Have a Ricky.
But hey, Decadent Brewing, this is so unique, and it's not your typical IPA. And I've really enjoyed it. And some of those IPAs are really kind of too much, This is almost like a very low-key sour. I'm going to go in with, actually, because it's interestingness and just uniqueness, and I've enjoyed it. It's going to be an 8.5. 8.5 from me.
Oh, blimey.
So, Nosy, cheers. And
Nosy Parker, he's pulled a shit website, but good beer.
He has.
If you were going to have one or the other, you'd go for good beer, wouldn't you? So, fair play to you.
Definitely. It's very
decadent of you, old boy.
What? What does that sound like Beatles? But yeah. but I really enjoyed that, and it's been a pleasure to come back. And we will absolutely, and we will be back pretty soon, and we will see what we come up with, right, Gav?
We will do. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Ta-ra.